Oh, microphone moved. That doesn't sound good. And microphone. Okay. Stream is starting soon, but until then we will croon. Need to get this last bit of phlegm out. Why won't the iPad turn on? It's interrupting my song. Oh, there we go. Getting ready. Alright, just gotta do a post that says, let's do this thing now. Jam. Jam. Take a picture of a pile of markers. And then you grab your text. You run into the dark and there's only a sound. Look at the way. That's what they say when we're together. Watch how they play. Where's my app with all my weather? No, I mean I need all the text. Gotta copy and paste it to the next. The next step over here, if it opens real quick, and then we'll say, starting the stream now. Let's pick a font that you can read. It's weird. All right. In theory, I don't know. Looks like my Twitch froze up, if that is working. So I was watching. Oh no, I'm gonna hit the play button. There we go. So I'm gonna start the stream in a second. I just need to copy and paste this text. But in theory, right now, we're doing a Streamception episode today, and Mike White over at Mike White Robot is drawing some comic books, and I'm gonna be his audio, so I'm gonna try even harder than normal to not stop talking, so that Mike has constant audio for his show, and then whoever is watching his stream is listening to this stream. And that's where the inception happens. And if my internet's fast enough, I'll also be watching Mike off to the side. And also I've got a cartoon character called Mike who I was just waiting for everything to render so that I could put him in. The stream today, but I messed up the animation, then I just barely fixed it. Still kind of broken, but doesn't matter. Ran out of time, and now he's in there. I write the word now. Twitter. Posting. Posting. Then, holy snaps, go to my chat dealy. Hey, chat dealy. Chat dealy, show me that chat. So anyway, somebody has been making some comments over there that I haven't seen yet, but I'm going to play the intro, and we'll get started drawing some pictures and singing theme songs for Mike White. Oh, actually, it's going to be Super Crazy Story Day. Intro, I would say it's the letter I. It is. And I'll read those messages probably from Mike White. Oops. And hello. Oh, wow. Did not quite adjust the lights for me being in the camera as I always do. So I am the brightest thing in the world instead of the paper. But just gonna make sure it's gotta be a mute. Well, I think I turned the volume all the way down on mic and move everything real quick. Take a look at this. Oh, this Space Goonie, Ahoy Ahoy Pass, and Chabathudu Boiler Glide Cycles. All right. All right, so anyway, as I was saying during the getting ready thing, I'm actually watching Mike draw his comic over on his stream, Mike White Robot, and chat is waiting for me. Sure, great. And show me. Show me the chats. Why don't you work then? Why don't you work then if you're so ready, chat monster? See, that's not how you work. All right then, let's turn it off and on again. Turn it off and on again. Internet. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how much you prepare. You could be a half hour ready ahead of time. You could be 5 minutes ahead of time, and the microphone's gonna fall on your head, and your chat thing is gonna be like, yeah, I'm ready. Then why won't you make a thing then? Make a thing. Oh, okay, there you go. Now I believe you, chat monster. Now I believe you. So, before we get too crazy... Oh no. Oh, this is terrible. I got no red pencils. No, but if I reach... Oh, if I could just summon the strength and the stretchability. I've got a box of red pencils right here. Oh, butterfly in the sky. Red pencils for this guy. Take a look. There's a sharpener. It's a sharpener rainbow. That's a weird sharpen. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? All right, Ripley, you take over for 2 seconds. Is that the Ripley that talks? Nope, just blinks. Good job, Ripples. And I'm gonna adjust this light. This is bananas. All right, that might be better or worse. Who knows? Mike White Robot writing a comment while he's streaming. There we go. So anyway, I figured today, let's make it Mike month. Last week we drew Mike Doty over here, which this animation loop is from Sad Girl Walking in the Rain, a music video that I animated for Mike Doty, because I was doodling stuff like this on my Instagram, and he was like, hey, well, he wasn't. I guess he was like, hey, manager, reach out to this weirdo in the world and ask him if he wants to animate this into a video. And my voice is on your stream. Too much headroom. Too much headroom still. Anyway, let's go to the other camera. There, that feels better. And let's switch over here. And yeah, anyway, he sent me a message and I was like, yeah, of course I'll do that. Do you have all the money? No, of course we don't. Of course you don't. Why would you have all the money? And I did it anyway because I was kind of thinking about doing it for free and for fun for like a weekend. And you know, it took probably several weekends and weeks. But yeah, I had to turn you down because I could hear myself, or at least my music, echoing back. So yeah, that Inception doesn't work unless I have another set of headphones, but that's getting real crazy. So I'm thinking, anyway, then I animated the video and now it's on YouTube. It's got, I don't know, a lot of views. It's like his least viewed video, I think, but it's got a lot of views. Oh, again! You and Bradley Cooper and your American dollars laughing at me, Ubering all over the place. Well, joke's on you, Mike White. Joke's on you. No, let's do a dinosaur. I was gonna just try to say let's make it Mike White month. It's hard not to say Mike without adding White to it now, because ever since the day I met Mike White 1,000 years ago, back in the animation studio, when he was like, I don't know, Mr. Curtis, I don't know what I'm doing. I have no experience. Like, no, Mike, I know for a fact you have tons of experience. You're amazing. Just do that thing you do. Like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I've never drawn before, Mr. Curtis. Like, why are you doing that voice, Mike? And I didn't say Mike. I only to his face while we're working together for a while. You know, when I have to say his name several times. But normally it's just like in the morning, at the end of the day, sometime in between. I didn't have to interact with Mike White that much, but it was, hey, this is Mike White. Hi, Mike White. And forever stuck. The most of anybody's first last name that I do that to, his is the most, where it is like I can't say the word Mike and then White pops up, which also could sound kind of racist. But anyway, let's see if we can draw Mike White as a dinosaur. I don't know if I can pull this off. Drawing a Mike White is it's a lot about the hair. I don't usually give hair to dinosaurs, but it's really the only way. Oh man. So anyway, it's story time. So Mike White, you're in luck. Mike White's favorite thing in the world is Curtis stories, which are Curtis's versions of things that to some people are normal in their day, or that they just block out completely and don't notice at all. But somehow I'm like, you didn't absorb all of that, and here it is in 3-act structure with a denouement, like, and maybe a sequel. So I had a story ready for this show, and I honestly had like 2 different like trains of thought on it. Like one, like here's a funny version, but here's like, no, but seriously guys, let's talk seriously about this. There we go. So I completely forgot the you know, my tirade about story A, and then eventually this story B happened at 4:30 today. Actually, like I think it was right at 4 o'clock, and I got involved at around 4:30, and that became such a thing. Where just like, well, that's it. The rest of my day, like I was gonna go do laundry. I've missed the laundromat twice now this week. Where I'm like, it's too late now. I won't get it all done. I shouldn't do this. Going to pick kind of a random dinosaur style to draw as Mike White, as I interject in my own story like a maniac. I want to say Stegosaurus-y, but some Mike White hair on it. See how that feels. Yeah, Mike White's face is all about like a big old smile and hair that's been pushed up from being exasperated with the humans of the day. So anyway, story B happens, and while I'm like I'm not going to the laundromat now. I'm exhausted from that. And what was my other story? Can't remember. Anyway, now I have this second story that I straight up promised I wouldn't tell anybody at the end of a good chunk of it. Actually at the main climax, and again, as always, there's a denouement that always precedes, happens after the main craziness. I keep thinking Stegosaurus. I don't know, Mike Whiter. He was Stegosaurus. I just don't know if I can do it. Everyone's a velociraptor. Ooh, yeah. Maybe a little bit of a T-Rex head. That's T-Rex head Mike White here. All right. So, just in order to tell a story, you have to allow it to just very quickly play out most of it, all the main points in your head, in a flash. Like, hey, I'm about to die, or about to tell a story. Whew, here's everything that happened, and I'm genuinely kind of exhausted already just by the thought of like, what? Are you kidding me? And as all the stories start in the Maniac Mansion here, starts with the yelling of somebody. So, story B begins, like I said, around 4 o'clock. I'm here working. I still, at this point, kind of have no idea how many people are still in this building that work from home. They don't have a job. They're just independently wealthy, or whatever. So there are points when it is like, oh, there's some crazy screaming going on. Am I the only one that's hearing this? Is this my job to deal with it? Call the police, do whatever should happen. And this time I found out no, there's a bunch of people that are still here during the day. So is this on camera? All right. Sorry, thinking too hard to talk. And anyway, some screaming, some yelling kind of permeates to my office. The first is just kind of a muffled whatever from somewhere in the building. And eventually it gets closer enough that I can make out the words, and it's a whole lot of, like, whatever, like, I love you, I hate you, I can't live without you, this kind of stuff, like, just screaming, but not in a romantic way whatsoever. Very not, third act of a movie where it's like, oh, this is a grand gesture. This is like, oh, I took some kind of, God knows what kind of pills, and I am out of my mind. And I can't even really stand up that well, and I definitely need some sort of help. So she's yelling just like, fine, like, stay in there or whatever, like, you don't even realize that I love you, and this and this and that, and eventually I hear something along the lines of like, maybe I should just like kill myself in our bed or whatever. Like, nope. And I'm just kind of waiting, but then it's just like other like random crazy things that are like, okay, she's just saying all the things, and I don't even know if there's anybody there for them, for her to be yelling at. So finally I hear some more yelling that's just like, maybe I'll get a gun, like, oh God. So I go out, and at this point she's talking to another neighbor that I haven't never met. To me seems like a fairly young girl. Like, I don't know, I'm old enough now that I just can't tell, and everybody seems like they're 20. But I don't know. Her and her boyfriend, husband live there. They could be God knows whatever age. So she's talking to her. And the lady just, would be kind of in tears for a minute, just saying things like, really things that are just like, okay, yeah, like this is stuff we can work with, like, like, oh, nobody loves me kind of thing, like men are like this, blah 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 blah, and it's like, yeah, and like, oh, like I'm trapped here, I should get out of this place, like, I hate this apartment up here, and just really, really angry things. I'm just like, yeah, like that's fine, like you don't need to do anything that, especially where you live or whatever, like just move if that's something you're like, I'm getting out of here soon, like awesome, like you don't need this stuff. The more you do to make yourself feel better, the better you will be, blah blah blah. But anything remotely positive, I would say, she'd just be like, oh yeah, no, get out of here with like, you don't even know, like, no, I don't know. I don't know, I'm just saying, um, just trying to get somebody that you can't stand, hate, to like be a part of your life or whatever, like that's exhausting. And but then it's just like, oh, I have this side boyfriend who's rich, so I can get all the money I want or whatever. Like, okay, then what are your problems then? It sounds like you can do exactly what you want, but also you're trapped here. You don't need to be. Anyway, I didn't say too much. She mostly was focusing her attention on this other girl, and saying all kinds of super filthy sexual stuff, and then other things are just like, I just want to like hug you and like massage you, but yeah, I know everybody just thinks sex. Everybody thinks sex. Like that's not what I mean. I just want to show you love, and just that or whatever. Like okay, but still, and she's looking at me like, you probably have a problem with that. I'm like, no. That sounds great. It was like with consent and everybody being on board. Like she's clearly uncomfortable with this, and I don't think either of us want you to just be randomly reaching out, grabbing and touching somebody. It's just not what people do, kind of thing. Because she was reaching out and grabbing and kind of touching this girl and just telling her like, "You're so pretty." Like, "Oh my God, you're so pretty," and they're just saying like, "I don't even, men are garbage. Like, I want to take you away to a farm." Like the Manson farm, except not as crazy. Like, except what now? No, you can't. If any farm is your friend, say any farm. Like, Little House on the Prairie farm. Like, even, what's the one? The M. Night Shyamalan farm, where everybody doesn't know that they're in present day times. I don't know. The Happening 2. Now that he has a dinosaur head, Mike White definitely needs bigger hair. Again, gotta still keep working on the drawing. So that's just insane. So I'm just basically, again, just the same thing I always end up doing. Like, I'm just here to make sure everybody's cool, nobody gets hurt, and you don't hurt yourself. Like, I would never hurt myself. Like, all right, that's fantastic. So check, and nobody else then. So again, like she kept focusing on this girl, and then she'd be like, but anyway, you go tell talk to your friend and blah 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 this. She couldn't seem to get it through her head that I was just some other person that lived in the building and not this girl's boyfriend. Like, no, he's another guy. Like, anyway, are you gonna be okay? And she's like, yeah, like I just want to go to the liquor store and then listen to music and go to sleep, which I'm surprised the music isn't blaring. Like, all right then. She's like, and I am gonna get help and this and that. Like, okay, like we didn't even say anything. Like, just again, like you're just out here screaming, and we want to make sure nothing terrible is gonna happen. And then she'd get really defensive, but like I said, she was on some kind of crazy pills. So drifting in and out of being actually upset with her life and fairly obsessed with this little girl. And then even just like, hey, like, what about this guy in glasses? Like, what's happening now? Like, oh yeah, like guys in glasses, like that's, and then saying to the girl, like, do you think that, is that hot or whatever? Like, she's like, well, my boyfriend has glasses. Like, yeah, I know. Like, this isn't my boyfriend. And again, just trying to make sure you're okay. So are you okay then if this is what you're switching the topic for? So then like very quickly drifting between like, oh yeah, this guy had glasses too. Like, what do you know? Who are you with your intellectualness? Like, I'm just wearing glasses. I just have bad vision. It doesn't make me an intellectual. What's going on? And she would throw out like all these books, you know, like, what about this? Do you read this? Do you read that? Like, no, you're clearly the intellectual. And then, oh man, it was a whirlwind. And this, I feel like it was, you know, maybe 20 minutes. It wasn't that much time, like maybe 40 minutes. So at one point she suddenly like she kind of starts singing a bit. She's like, I'm theatrical. Like, okay, cool, that's awesome. Focus on that instead of these men that you hate, or being with a woman, since that is clearly what you want more. You're not trapped. Just do that thing that you like. And then still just like, you don't know. Like, again, no, I don't. I'm just saying, you don't need to be screaming about it and threatening to kill people and whatever. You can't do that without repercussions. That's not how the world works. Again, not that I was combative or argumentative with her. Most of these were in my head. And anyway, yeah, she starts singing some song I've never heard of. I believe she said it was French. Sounded pretty Spanish with a lot of English. And it definitely must have been a real song. She seemed to sing it pretty good. But she starts to sing it and then like says to, I don't know if it was just the girl or me and her, but at least just her anyway. And she's like, and now you sing. Like sing the rest. I was like, this doesn't happen outside of a Judd Apatow movie. Who are these Bill Hader characters? What are you talking about? Now you sing the rest of this song. And the girl looks like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And she like, what? Like, don't even act like you don't know. Like, you read books, you listen to music, you know, you're smart. Like, you know the rest of that song. Like, that's not how life works. You can't force somebody to know something. So she does manage to get over that. She's like, well, what music do you listen to? So you must be, you know, she's like, what about opera? Like, no, I don't know any opera. So just jazz then. Yeah, those are the options. Those are all the options, of course. During all of this, across the hall from me, there's a girl that moved in, and she has 2 dogs, as we discussed. There seem to be really good dogs. They've stopped barking at everything, and except for crazy people going crazy, and it's like, that's fine. I'm gonna bark at them as well. So, while some of this weird conversation, I don't know if it was the jazz part, is going on, she's in her doorway with her dogs, like, what do I do? And I'm kind of at a position where I'm half in like the corridor, so I can look back and, you know, I can look at her face like, I don't know if you want to walk through this, if that's a thing. Like, maybe you're just gonna have to let your dogs pee on the floor. Is that enough information to convey with just my face with and she looks at me like, like, of course. And she kind of starts to go back into her apartment, and then it's like, well, no, I guess I'm not. And then she starts to go by, and the lady says something somewhat epic and loud enough that the girl's like, okay, what's happening? Oh, that's what it was. She was yelling, hey, listen, I don't care what you think. To me, like, I don't think anything is what, everything is fine. And as far as what you're into, dating wise or whatever we're talking about here, I mean, whatever we're talking about, sex. You're talking about sex because she was like, you know, like, whatever. I'm not, you know, it's not like I'm not going to do anything. I'm not like going after this girl or whatever. She's like, but she's very pretty. And yes, I would, I can't remember if she swore right away, but yeah, she's like, I would F her, or whatever. And I don't care if all the neighbors know it. And that's as that girl's coming by, like, okay, there was just no good opportunity then. Like, they just didn't exist in this universe. Like, nope, it's blow through or not. And then she like, hey, it's you, like, hi. And this girl's new. She definitely doesn't know anybody. Oh yeah, and then at one point she was like, I saw you, to the other girl. And the girl's like, okay, yeah, I saw you in court. Like, well, I've never been there, so no, it wasn't me. Like, no, it was you. And it was like, that was the last time I saw you. And I knew it was you, but you didn't look at me. Like, okay. She's like, well, it wasn't me. Like, it was. And she got real upset. and got right up in her face. And again, like I said, I don't know nothing about no pills, and I don't know what kind of pills she was on or what she was on. Like she definitely wasn't just drunk, but she was all over the place. Like I don't know. I don't know what heroin's like. I don't know what. I don't know. I'm just thinking of Train Spotting, but any of those things where people are just kind of like drifting in and out, and again, just like sad old lady vibes, trying to just kind of like, I don't know what we can do for you here. Um, but yeah, she got real up in that girl's face for not recognizing her in a place where she wasn't. But in the amount of time, it's just like, oh, you remember. Oh, I know you remember. You were there. And then the girl's clearly really scared. I'm kind of like getting ready to like lean in, like I don't know what's gonna happen, but something bad, and or just to catch her because she kept kind of falling over and she was just chilling out on the stairs. But within that, then she's just like your eyes are beautiful, like look into my eyes, and blah 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 eyes, and you could see in her face it was just like she was just instantly went from rage to like pure infatuation with this girl. I'm just like, this is bananas, and it's just bananas. So again, the girl with the dog managed to go by, bunch of things, saying the songs. Hey, what kind of songs? And then this girl's just like, well, I'd love to see this band again. I don't think you've ever heard of them. And something obscure, fairly local, I guess. And this is the bike weight. It is hoodie. I think this is looking an awful lot like a Mike White dinosaur. Mike White, the last dinosaur. He's your friend and a whole lot more. He opened up an application store making apps for your iPad and more. And so I worked there and then it closed and I took his iPad. I never gave it back. So that's what's great. A little bit of fun, a little fun commercial in the midst of all this terrible, terrible sadness. So, blah, blah, blah. Drifting back and forth from tears to whatever. Eventually, she kind of managed to turn a fall into a hug with that other girl, which you can tell that's what she really needed, was somebody to just give her a hug and not also be a gropey boyfriend, even though she also wanted that, which she was very clear about. And something religious things, etc., talked about how this building is, what happened in this building, right? She said like, yeah, we know some things. She's like, lots of babies died here. Like, okay, cool, this is a Tuesday afternoon. And and of course, because of that, a lot of nurses killed themselves here. Like, excellent. Like, well, like I tell everybody, ever since my dad died, I'm no longer afraid of ghosts, because either ghosts aren't real and they're nothing to worry about, or they are real and they don't bother with people that much, and maybe you see them on the celestial plane. Celestial? Probably not right. On a different plane of existence, interacting with different time streams, whatever you want to look at in 1,000 different ways, whatever, that's fine. But if they do, and there are malicious ones, then again, out of all of the people in my family that have ever died, whatever they're doing, that's fine. But I know that ever since he did, it's just like, if ghosts are trouble, he's there. He is my personal Ghostbuster. Like, so whatever. So I tell them that, and they're just like, well, the crazy lady's like, yeah, that sounds good. But no, like, this place is terrible. Like, I'm up in this tower. Like, I'm in a tower. Like, that was the selling point for me. Like, I don't want to be locked in this tower. Like, you can come and go as you please. It's your place to live. Oh, yeesh indeed. And I think this just needs more. Let's give him a little Adidas logo. There you go. Hey, I heard on a podcast today that apparently Adidas and Puma are just two brothers that were like, I'm making shoes. I want to make shoes. And they just kind of took over the family company, separated into two, and they're just basically both the same, which is weird because I always thought, like, why did Pumas seem exactly like Adidas? But that's neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. Because before all of this, before we get to this to the epilogue of the Tale of Sadness or the prologue, don't know the difference. I know more stuff is going to come to me, but I want to say one of the more epicish things. Okay, here's the two epicish things that happened. One was somewhere in the midst of this religion, blah blah blah, my life, this, that. Oh, just like you guys, you have, you would love to see my tattoos to this girl. Oh, like I only have this little one, and showed her whatever it was on her wrist. And she was like, oh, well, mine's my full back. Like, all right, cool. Of course you have a full back tattoo. I can tell that from talking to you, that of course you do. And before you finish, I already know that it's going to be something mind-blowing, and it's not going to be like, oh, it's it's wings and, magic, and it represents hope and whatever, or like rainbows coming up through it. Like, nothing like that. It's a plant and growth, and no, nothing like that. Oh, I always, so often as well, the sirens go off and then they stop. And I'm like, are they here? Are they here? And I don't know where they go, but they disappear somewhere. Where are my markers? Oh, snaps. So, I wish I had some commercials, just to be like, hold on to your hats. Let's create a cliffhanger so you can find out what the tattoo was. But the tattoo was Mike White. Mike White. Mike White. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, I met Mike White, and Mike White was a born-again Christian, and I guess he still is. He's all about Jesus-y type things. Mike White. Where's my marker tester page? There you go, Ninja Turtle. Got this one. That tattoo was a full body, a full back tattoo. I didn't see it. Of Jesus and the devil, like standing with each other, standing hand in hand. Oh, of course it is. Of course it is, lady. What else would it be? What else would it be? Hey guys, heading out for a back tattoo. Oh, cool. That sounds cool. What, you're like a Batman type person, probably some like Batman comic booky type thing, or I don't know, something symbolic or something, right? No, just Jesus and the devil, standing hand in hand, full back, nothing weird. I'm not. Anyway, what was the movie? I'm not red dragoning over here. Who's red dragoning? I'm not red dragoning. I'm just getting weird biblical stuff tattooed on my whole back. Oh, hey, Tom Hanks, you're here to solve a mystery? Anyway, I'm just going to be whipping myself for a while because everything's nuts. Everything's bananas. Cause Satan is my BFF, and my name is Jesus. We solve some mysteries, but sometimes we need a ref. Cause we can't agree all the time on which side of the line to stride along to solve our mysteries. Yeah, we got a van. Satan pimped it up real good. We got ourselves a puppy to sniff out clues. His name is Rud. It's falling apart. Country song's falling apart. Oh man. Anyway, that's the country ballad of Jesus and Satan and their mystery solving business. Clearly based on. Oh yeah, you're the one. Oh. Clearly based on Scooby-Doo. Oh my god. Too many things. So that was the one thing. And the other thing, this is still the B story. There's still a whole other separate A story that I was trying to remember all day. So the other crazy thing was, hey, my back? Yep, that's nuts. Anyway, what else you got? So many things that you forgot, and I did. But I didn't forget this one. Girl from across the hall with the dogs comes back upstairs with the dogs. Yeah, that's right. I'm pausing purposely to let you imagine, what could it be? What could it be? This is like, before the lottery numbers come down and you're like, I want it to be a 6. What's that 6 that you could possibly be thinking of? Like, what's going to happen? Is she going to yell at dogs? Is that what I'm thinking? She's going to yell at dogs? Is that what Space Goonie goes to? No. So she comes up, she catches the eye of the dogs. The dogs are like, I don't care. I don't know what's going on. The girl is like, I just want to get by this real good, real fast. And she's like, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And just like Homer Simpson going over the gorge, like, you're going to make it. I believe in you. I think the trajectory is going to work out here. And then the lady's like, oh, can I have a pet? Like, I've never heard anybody ask to pet somebody's dog by asking if they could have a pet. And I'm terrified. I'm genuinely terrified that she's going to hear this and start beating on my door, even though she's got to be passed out. And that's some beard. That's gross. Oh. Anyway, if you're listening over on Mike White Robot's stream, that was the sound of me trying to get a beard hair out of my mouth for way too long. Gross. So, the girl looks at everybody and with as much words as she could force out and the terror that was clearly in her eyes holding her back, kind of went, and just be like, no, these dogs, they're not like petting dogs, and these dogs are like clearly petting dogs. Like they were really great dogs. I was fighting the urge not to just be like, I know we're dealing with something here, but I'm just gonna pet these dogs as well. These are great. These are adorable, just great petting dogs. I could see why the lady reacted this way. So then, I don't know, the dog knew, I guess. Dog, like, goes over to the lady, basically. Lady, like, drops down a few steps, gets to the dog, and, like, gets right in his face and is, like, petting it. It's like, well, you can't say the dogs aren't cool with it now, because this dog is totally fine with anything. This lady could punch this dog in the face, and it would be like, cool, what's next? This dog is really good. It's really good. Yes, I complained about it barking, but still, really good dog. Of course they're going to bark. They're at a crazy place. I've got to bark for 2 hours while I draw pictures of Mike White as a dinosaur. So how do I judge a dog? Get the darker one to put in some little spotty details. How did it get crazier? Oh, yes. So, the song from earlier, she starts singing again to the dog, like really to the dog, like lovingly to this dog. Don't know the song at all, but it kept drifting in and out of some English, some, I'm pretty sure it was Spanish, but she said it was French. So anyway, she's all like, this is ground control to Major Tom. I'm slipping through the door, and I don't think I can. And the girl is looking at me, and we're looking at the other girl, and we're all doing the, hey, what's going on? Again, is this a Bill Hader character? Is this a Judd Apatow movie? What's Paul Rudd doing over here in this costume? Are we getting Paul Rudded? I feel like we're getting Paul Rudded. And we're all clearly feeling that because we're looking at each other like, she's about to make out with this dog, right? Is she going to make out with this dog? What do we do in this situation? What do you do when somebody's going to make out with a stranger's dog? But regardless, it's your dog. I'm going to leave you as the first to shoot the phrase, please don't make out with my dog. And she didn't, I don't think. Like I said, I was looking away at the other people just being like, ah, a lot of the time while they were doing that. And she's getting really in there, like lending the dog. And then she's like, why do they do that? Why are you so lucky? And it's just like, wait, what? Okay, you're not upset the dog is licking your face. You're mildly upset that this girl is so lucky that the I don't know, the dog god of the world granted her this perfect dog, and she's jealous. Like, oh, this is perfect. If only I had a dog that would give me snuggles and hugs like this. And the other girl was like, you just need a dog. And I'm like, yeah, definitely get a dog instead of a man. You clearly don't want a man. And then you can work on becoming a lesbian, which you clearly are. But that's fine. You don't have to. But definitely a dog over people. Like, for sure. You definitely probably aren't going to have a screaming fight with a dog at a random time of the night that I'm expecting any minute now. But probably at around 12:30, I'm expecting music to start blaring and madness. So she gets in it with the dog for a little while, like, all right, this is great. Da, 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 da. And once the dog was gone, like the dog really helped. It was like, yeah, I don't know, I'm really on board with this. You definitely need a dog. Because that really that fully changed the dynamic of everything. And then she was like, all right, cool. Anyway, I'm just going to go upstairs and throw in some music and wait for my boyfriend. Like, you do have a boyfriend? I thought you said he was taken away. I thought, it's just like, oh, yeah, you were just saying all kinds of crazy things. She goes upstairs. Don't you say anything. Like, okay, cool. I won't say anything. Which I'm pretty sure translates to, like, don't call the cops. And I was like, fine, until I hear something more dire, I won't call the cops. And away she finally goes upstairs. And then, I don't know, like a few minutes later, we're still kind of talking about this building and whatever. The new girl has already gone back into her apartment, and I'm like, well, anyway, see you later. Blah blah blah. This is how we meet in this building. And before she leaves and I leave to go back to our respective apartments, this like oldish dude goes by with like a case of beer, and all I can think is like, oh god, don't be the boyfriend, like, you're the boyfriend she's waiting for, like, oh, you're clearly the worst, I can tell by looking at you, but also you're just bringing a bunch of gas for the fire. Yeah, this fire's already burning. It's gonna burn so hard with all that fuel. Oh man. And he goes upstairs. It's quiet for a while. Like, all right, I'll live my life. Everything's cool. Then, once again, you hear like, no, don't leave me. Don't leave me. Oh my God, please don't leave me. And, how that goes. Until it gets to out of doors, right next to my car, where I'm like, oh no, now I have to watch the parking lot show version. So they don't go, I don't know, through my car or whatever. I'll know who did it, even though, what am I going to do? Go after these people? No, not in a million years. Smash my car to pieces. I'm never going to try to talk to you nuts again. I'll just go pay for it and deal with it. So she is fully like, like fighting her way to keep him there, like holding the door closed, like his hand is on the door. She's like wedging herself in as best she can. She's like hanging out of the truck. And I'm like, this is bananas. This is bananas. How is this gonna end? Like, she's gonna come back in the building. She's gonna be way more upset, and I don't know. Like, I'm gonna have to call the police. I don't know. But no, she forces her way over him in the driver's seat, gets into the passenger side, is like, "Meow," and like a little kid, like, made it. Cool, you sure did. You sure did. This day is definitely going to get better for you now, right? Like, these aren't a bunch of insane situations. But these were, in fact, insane situations. So she was gone, and then I guess she must have come back and yelled again and then went to bed or something. Because then a girl across the hall knocks on my door, and I'm just like, was it a knock on my door? Because anytime I've ever had a knock on my door, it's been from a crazy person that are like, "Arr!" And I just heard like a knock knock, like, that's never happened before. I don't know what a normal knock sounds like anymore. So I opened the door, and she's like going back, and I was like, did you knock? And she's like, yeah. She's like, I wanted to ask, does this happen a lot? Is this a thing that happens here? And I'm like, I want to say no. I was like, but I do a weekly podcast about it, kind of. I was like, but no, like stuff like this, like these weird pill benders seem to only last like 24 to 48 hours. And I don't even know who this lady is, so I don't know how often this happens. I just know that these other people yell at each other sometimes, and then there was another guy that had some problems. He seemed to have cleaned himself up. And I was just kind of giving her my best rundown of the building. And she was like, all right, cool. And then she told me all the things that were wrong with her apartment. And like, that's insane. It was like, because they just went in there and put down new tiles. She's like, yeah, they did a bunch of like dumb cosmetic fixes to the place that I don't think needed to be done. But I can't use my stove and my heat won't turn off. Like, yeah. Anyway, she's like, I was texting the landlord while this stuff was going on. It was like, cool. Who knows if he's going to care? Because I doubt it. Most building owners own the building, and then that's as far as they need to go. So, I don't know. It'll be a great place in the summer. So, probably around September-ish, I'll start to move again. And next time I won't pick such a slightly questionable place. But I don't foresee it being perfectly quiet and still not, having a few maniacs floating around. Even now I can slightly hear some stuff in the distance. I feel like, are they talking about me? Talking about them? Oh, jeez. So anyway, this girl is asking me about the place, and then we can hear somebody coming up the stairs, and we both look at each other like, oh no, like what do we do? And thankfully, we're both on the same page, and we both didn't think like, you're a monster, no, you're a monster. And we both like snuck back into our apartment, like closed the door a bit, so we're both peeking out like, whoa, who is it? And it was the helpful girl from before. And she like stops and looks at us like, what's happening? And they're like, we were just discussing the building, and then we got scared and hid. And she's like, all right, that's understandable. Like, I should hope so. I should hope so. So that's the denouement of that, is, a little bit of after the fact breakdown of what happened for somebody else. So again, at least this time I'm not like, am I imagining this? This place is real, right? Am I in an American Horror Story? Because a lot of the time this seems very not possible to keep happening. So yeah, I feel like I made friends with those guys today. They seem pretty cool. They're just video game nerds. They're both playing their PlayStation 4 while I'm over here like, oh, I got a PlayStation 3 and an old Nintendo. I'm 90. That's not the one I wanted. So, there's a lot to that that I can't even remember. But, whilst trying to remember, oh yeah, what was the thing I actually was going to talk about today? Because this is nuts. So I'm over here like, oh, this whole other set of people is gone. I was like, oh yeah, that was the thing. Because I wasn't sure, or for the longest time, I had thought that there was one horrific, crazy couple in the building, and I couldn't figure out, are they at the end of my hallway, or are they upstairs? Because sometimes it just seems like both. And I can't figure out which it is. And today confirmed that, oh, there's two. There's two groups. There's one at the end of the hall, and then there's this one from upstairs. It was two different people the whole time. Because the other day, and I'm very tempted to play it. I recorded some of the audio because I'm like, am I hearing this? And I'm like, that's got to be the craziness done. There's no point to record this now. And it would and then something more crazy would happen. I'm just like, all right, again, like I have to send this to somebody to corroborate. Like this is real, right? Am I imagining this? But a lot of the old classic, whatever, screaming and yelling at each other, and these are the ones that I'm definitely like, oh, you live on the other side of the wall, and I'm like, hey, break up, and or some other neighbor yells, why don't you just break up already? You hate each other. So now I know two things about them. One, the couple is definitely a old black lady and an old white guy. How do I know this? Because I'm pretty sure the old white guy hates black people and the black lady hates white people. And yeah, I got kind of whispery on that. That feels weird to say. But if you're in a relationship with somebody and they're a race that you hate, you gotta Romeo and Juliet that in your own head and not be. That's insane. But there's been a few times where I've heard something like that, and I thought before that it was like, oh, they're actually just yell discussing Trump. They're both agreeing with each other, but they're talking about Trump, so it's not a fight. They're actually just loud. And now I know that no, they were fighting about racial issues, and again, they're on the other They're not connected to this room, so I feel like mildly safe, but I don't know. I don't know how sound my voice travels sometimes. All right, I can definitely hear yelling, so maybe she's banging on his truck again, or I should go look out the window and see if somebody's beating up my car, because they're listening to this. No, I think it's still in the building yelling. Oh, man. Weird. What do you do with your day, Curtis? I draw unicorns and stuff for little kids that make lots of money playing video games. And then at the end of the day, I just want to draw a picture of Mike White as a dinosaur, you know, nothing crazy. But no, the audio that specifically the audio that I recorded that I'll just tell you I won't play. It seems a little bit crass. Was well, from what I can gather, the gist at least was that I'm gonna say the lady either got in trouble or got fired, maybe at her job, which is clearly some sort of food industry, food service, restaurant, something, and some issue probably with wearing a hairnet came up, or she didn't wear a hairnet and somebody complained about hair in their food. So, couldn't make out a lot of what she was saying, but something basically along the lines of like, oh, it's those white people. Those white people. Ugh, like they're ruining my life. And then the guy yells, no, it's not white people. Like, it's not white people this time, at least. He's like, he's like, white people aren't great all the time. He's like, but this time, he's like, I'll tell you, he's like, white people and black people don't want hair in their effing food. Just like, oh man. What's happening? People are fun. People are fun. But meanwhile, Mike White is working on his book. That's right. Gonna hit the play button. Holy snaps. Who's Lady Black Fox? Lady Black Fox is over on Mike's channel, talking up a storm, can he handle? Are you reading everything that she's saying, Mike White? Or are you even listening anymore? 'Cause it's the theme songs of Mike White episode. Everything is Mike White. I don't know what rhymes with episode. You win this round, Mike White. You win this round. So there we go ahead. We're gonna give Mike a classic black hoodie, because if you go over to Mike White Robot stream right now, you'll see that he is wearing his classic black hoodie. Look at him. He's talking right at me right now. I can see him in his thing, and I can't hear him, and he knows it. Who are you even talking to, Mike White? Who are you even talking to? You crazy. Now Mike White's probably saying something like, hey, now I'll be doing all this, and then you're gonna have to watch the replay of my stream later, and then you'll see that I'm just gonna pretend to say nothing, so the Curtis will go all detective later on and see what I was saying, but I won't, Mike White. I'm too lazy for that. Too Danny Glover for that shit. Oh yeah. So what is Melly Bean and the Giant Monsters, the book Mike White's working on? I can't wait for the paper version. I definitely want to get a copy of that. But it's about his dog, who I'm going to assume her name is Melly. Wait, no. The dog's name is... because the cat's name is Jelly Bean. So the dog's name is Mel Torme and Jelly Bean? Is that the name of his pets? But it's also about him and food. Mike's books are wicked full of super great food puns. Lots of just puns, but food jokes in general. And again, like, I don't know, all throughout all of the animation world, I've said this 1,000 times, Mike was always my favorite poser in all of the ways, as both a poser, pretending to you know, be whatever he is that day, and animation posing, as in drawing poses for things. But yeah, I was watching him draw on his comic book there yesterday, whenever that was. So I think he's streaming all the time. But yeah, if you go over to Mike White Robot, you can order his books on your Kindle, or at least digital versions from Amazon, which I guess I should do that too. But I want to feel it. And I don't know if the other book is still available or if my picture is still on the back. One of the books that Mike did, maybe I used it somewhere. I drew a picture of Mike White for the back of his book. It's like one of my favorite drawings ever. It's got like just 1,000 little inside Mike White jokes that are only for me and Mike White and nobody else would get. And that's what's great about it. Also, most of the things me and Mike do. Hey, Ouchurl? Or Coral? Oh, Coral? Oh, that's Carol. Hey, Carol. Right? Is that Carol? Are you Mike's Carol? Oh, Carol and Mike White, the lady in the comics that Mike White's doing? Oh no, you're Ouch Oral. Okay. That sounds inappropriate. Oh, the internet. It makes me so old. Thanks for following. Wait, did that say Aggie Flam? Oh, it is Carol. Hey, Carol. I think I've only maybe talked to you once through a video screen while I was talking to a Mike White. Lady Black Fox following now. Ouch, Carol. They know how it works. I'm so tempted to draw lines on this. It's been so long since I've went in and had some fun with lines. She sees what she likes, even if it's a fart. She'll say, I know that I like this art. Near, far, gotta take a car, 'cause I don't feel like walking. Mike White is drawing an adorable cat face right now. Ouch, Carol. I'm just gonna say Carol. Oh, I don't know if this brush is gonna work. It looks kind of ravaged. And empty. Oh, dinosaurs are the best, worst thing in the world. I'm so glad they existed in a different time. Because I straight up have nightmares where I'm like, oh no, dinosaurs are back, and I don't trust that horrible wooden fence. And I shouldn't because it always breaks. And you try to get to higher ground. I always try to get to higher ground, but is there high enough ground anywhere? No. No, there couldn't possibly be, because it's dinosaurs. It's dinosaurs. Cause it's your Mike White classic black hoodie. Go to Old Navy or go to Sam Goody, but I don't know what Sam Goody is. An American store that I think is for the music biz. Also, Carol, I'm watching Mike's feed, and I see that you're ratting me out to Mike, that I sing when people follow, I sing when people look, I sing at everything, 'cause I'm just a crazy old schnook. That's a Bugs Bunny word for a dumb old turd. Alright, we'll just put some dark lines in his hair here. I'm gonna do outlines this time. Gonna not give in. I always regret it. Except those times I don't. Ah, for the love of. But just gonna put a little bit of texture into Mike's hair. Go ahead and texture up that hair. Oh, it's a bunny. Sorry, Mike. I said it was a kitty. It's an adorable bunny. Because when you're drawing a dino, Mike, make sure it's dynamite. Because Mike is drawing a bunny who needs a bite of food. Mike's not cliche. That bunny probably loves something obscure and not carrot-based. He's probably like, "Oh, please, sir, I'm the bunny who likes Starbucks scones." And the other characters are like, "Nobody likes scones. Scones are the worst. They're like old bread on purpose." And they're like, "But it's the only thing I like. The crunch reminds me of carrots." And then Mike has to write in, "Please listen to this date in time on YouTube or Twitch or Mixer to No Such Thing as Grown-Ups, except your Mixer. One of I think the I is missing in Thing so that it would fit." Texture pages, come and texture up your pages. Don't try to involve Bill Cosby. And, I don't know, in the world of TV, we always usually talk about TV for a minute. One of these days, I'm really going to get a new eraser. This is mostly plastic eraser holder now. I should definitely let that dry a little bit. Let's let that dry for a second and discuss television. So over on the Netflix, okay, two things, I guess, television-wise. So this Incredibles 2 movie, it's animated? It's like an animated 3D movie. It's not a live-action reboot of The Incredibles, so I didn't know what to do with that. So I put it on, and I already figured, like, well, it's definitely the exact same story of the first movie, so I was prepared to hate it completely. But, Pixar, I hate you because no matter what it is, it's still great. Even Cars is the dumbest, but by the end, you're just like, oh, those cars. Those cars really came together as a family. They didn't have to because they're cars, but they did. Because of love. And yeah, and same deal. Incredibles. Managed to make it all the way through Incredibles with no tears. So that was one. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's a plus or a minus, or maybe I was just in the mindset of like, you're barely getting in my house. Incredibles 2. I don't trust you with all these reboots. I don't know what you're gonna do to me. And then like first few minutes, like, oh, this is pretty great. This is pretty great. 15 minutes into it, 10 minutes into it, like, oh, that's the bad guy, obviously. This is what's going on. All right. This is easy to unfold, but it's supposed to be for people. What does that say? Part-time Gamer 10. Part-time Gamer 10. He's going to follow. Part-time Gamer. He's going to follow at the part-time. And follow again. Hey, part-time Gamer friend. That's where this song will end. All snaps. Thanks for following. Oh man, but yeah, I was still like beginning to end like, damn it, I'm probably gonna watch this again. This was so good. So good. And I don't know, like everything I didn't want. It was like, I don't want a Jack movie. I don't want to, hey, I'm the super dad, but dadding is hard, even with superpowers. I don't want to watch that movie. I don't want to watch that movie. And it was like, oh, this is great. This is great. This is the best version of the dad's got to take care of the kid and he doesn't know what he's doing movie. Because, yeah, I really didn't want to deal with that kid. And that kid was, damn you. Super great. So great. The whole thing was just like, this is really they were teaching us a lot about what the character can do. And it's so fun to watch this raccoon have an epic battle. Damn it, so mad for that I liked it, but so good. Everything, beginning to end, top to bottom. The other thing I hate about all movies is yeah, I have to go back and watch that second one or the first one again, because I know like that was like one of my favorite movies for 1,000 years, and I'm sure it still is. But this one, like, almost it kind of got to it faster. We didn't have to do a whole bunch of sneaking around stuff. I didn't love that about the first one, even though it's the crux of the whole story. But yeah, no. One thing I hate about movies is when the bad guy does have mind control, and it's just like, why is this a movie then? Why do you have any plans that aren't do the thing you want to do with mind control? You have mind control. I'm going to control these people, and then I'm going to make it seem like you already had that. You just went in a circle for no reason. I guess you're the bad guy. You do stupid things. That's how you know bad guys are bad. But thankfully, again, like the main characters weren't mind controlled for too long, because that just nothing I hate more than RoboCop's turned evil. He's a bad guy now. Let's turn our backs on him forever. Silent Dragon 217. I really should move this monitor closer, or put up one of the other boxes that show me the things that happen. But I already... Silent Dragon. Was it Silent Dragon? Dragon for gaming. Twitching and Instagram too. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. This is where all these drawings come from, and all the alerts and the main things about whether or not I'm going to be streaming goes, because all other social media is the worst, even though, you know, yes, no such thing as grown-ups for everything, but Instagram is the only one I really care about. But with all that, let's get a little more red here. We need a little background color, right? Let's not be silly. these the same? Yes. Yeah, red and black looks good. Let's do a random geometric shape in the background here. Really make Mike White dinosaur. Mike Whiteosaurus. Mike Whiteatops. Mike Whiteadon. There we go. Make him pop. Fully forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah. So Credibles is great. Instagram follow. And the other thing, I didn't watch all of the Love, Death, and Robots. Is that what it's called? Also, fantastic. Mike Whiteadactyl, Pat Prowse for the win. But yeah, some of them just seem like these are the best video game cutscenes in the world, which isn't even a slight anymore. Like, it used to be a, hey, that looks like a video game cutscene. But now I'm like, hey, how come people doing these video game cutscenes aren't making short films? Because these are great. So a few of them feel very video gamey. Like, we're going to be able to play this, right? But again, some of them are just like amazing. Like the one that is animated, like hand drawn. The Soul Sucker, the Dracula short is so far my favorite. I'm not sure. I think I might have watched one after that, or I might have stopped at that one. But oh man, that one is great. Like, just so visually stunning. Story is fine, but man, oh man, so good. And that's TV report for this week. Other than that, I mostly watch random YouTubes of the same old British game shows that I always rewatch again and again. I feel like I did. Oh, I was watching Pointless, which I never watch, but I was like, let's watch all the shows that James A. Caster is on, and that'll be great. And it was. And then I tried to watch another one, and I'm like, oh, this show is just, it's just too boring. I think I hate it, but the premise isn't that bad. But it's kind of, it's a weird, to explain it, it's like reverse Family Feud, where they ask 100 people and you try to guess the lowest number of people that said one of the answers. And I definitely watched a whole episode of it before and was like, I have no idea what's happening. And it wasn't until I went back and watched the James A. Caster episode, I was like, oh, I see. It's reverse Family Feud. But I don't know, questions are asked in a weird way, and other than like that James A. Caster episode is super funny because James A. Caster like makes that episode, but he doesn't make it all the way through the episode. Spoiler alert. Pointless, yes. Sorry, Space Goody. So you're trying to get the lowest points. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll end up watching it. It's kind of in my YouTube queue now. I said the same thing about Taskmaster. I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. This seems crazy. And then Space Goonie and Pat were like, no, watch it. It's the best show ever. Watch the James A. Caster episode. And then, like all TV, all British TV, James A. Caster is the key that gets you in the door. Alright, speaking of Pointless, there's a big old Pointless square behind your Mike White. Now, of course, if you're all following along at home, I assume Carol, Lady Black Fox, Space Goonie, Pat, I'm not sure how many other people I missed there, Silent Dragon, Deadly Gamer, whichever that was. I assume you have the same drawing. We were all following along at home. Hey, white balance camera. White balance. There we go. Well, anyway, if you go to the Instagram, you'll be able to see it without that the buzz that's now happening because of the red. Makes it pop, but cameras can't. Ooh, a little bit of shadow. Can I? No, too much shadow or not enough. And once again, I've completely forgotten to get the countdown, speaking of British game shows, countdown paper. So, Mike White, you probably don't know this, towards the end or at the end of my stream, you've been streaming like all day. I guess your job is now, you're just streaming everything you do to make that book. That's crazy. But it makes sense. I like to have a little show because I sing too much and I get tired. But I also play this version of a British game show where you get 9 letters and you have 30 seconds. I have a clock that pops up on my screen, and it gives you 30 seconds, and you got to come up with the longest word. And ooh, there's some post-it notes. All right, Ripley, take over for a second. Blink harder, Ripley. Blink harder. At handsomedinosaur.com. And hello. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting Mike. The other Mike is here. Mike Doty. Don't forget, Sad Girl Walking in the Raid. Watch the video on YouTube. So it's over on this screen. So real quick, we're gonna slap this, flip it, and reverse it. And as always, I will be able to see your comments for a second while I get some random letters and we play Countdown. Oh, I never did I? No. Need to do the Countdown intro. But I keep forgetting. So, random word generator, or letter generator. Where'd you go? And, oops, and is our first letter. So it looks like an N, right? There we go. U, N. All right, there's a 3-letter word. Oh, B. Don't go chasing nun bees. Those bees, nuns, and sting you a lot. And an M. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 more. 3 more. Oh. That's no good. R. 7. I'm running out of room. D. Need vowels. Need another vowel, right? Come on, vowels. Random vowel. Random vowel. Random vowel. Random vowel. Random vowel. Nope. Come on now. All right, let's go with an E. And an E. And then, that's right, Mike White. There's even music. Hopefully my audio is set up properly. I think it is. Or it's going to shoot out of every sound hole in this computer. Doop. Oh. So 6 is the best I can find. I forgot to click back over to the chat. Oh, I thought ye was your word. Yeah, Mike White went to Sheridan. Like a fancy animator boy. Hey, Johnny C. Birdmen. Bird, B-I-R-D-M-E-N. Oh, that's... wait, B... 7. That's great. B-U-R-N-E-D. 6. Rump. There's no P. There's no P. That's a D. Mike White's got rum. Or rummed. You burned. Yeah, so I'm gonna say Birdmen's a word. And give Jotty the 7. I think, yeah, Captain Crantus is the winner over at Jaw JC. Junior the Third. Yeah, best I could come up with was number and brimmed. No, that's brimed. Need another M for that, I think. N-U-M-B-E-R. Yeah. It's all a bunch of 6s. It's all a bunch of 6s. When someone's got a 7, everyone else is garbage. And then we always end by flipping back over to whatever we drew today and thanking everyone for following along, adding follows and bits and whatever else kind of stuff happens. It feels great to win. Someday I'll do some prizes. Why wouldn't I? I have that power. Just gotta put some information in and spend some money. And if you're over at Mike White Robot, I hope you've also had fun watching Mike draw while I yell at him about stories of crazy people. And thanks for coming over here to watch me draw a picture of Mike White. Oh, you know what? Let's not stop right yet. These pupils got to be a little bit darker. Mike's got some dark pubes. Pat Prowse and a pile of bits. The penguin pops up and then he quits and goes away again. There, now there's some eyes. Mike White Robot also with some bits. Oh man. Anyway, now I'm really done. Let's go over to Susie in Dictionary Corner. Hey, Susie? Yeah, you're just a cat. Other camera. But yeah, I feel so short with all this headroom. Definitely should have lowered camera. But almost at eye level with this guy. But anyway, yeah, like I said, thanks for stopping by every Tuesday at 8:30 Atlantic time. I don't know the time zone, so you figure that out. I know that some people in America were like, wait, what now? There's another time zone? Like, yeah, there's another one after that, too, called Newfoundland time. That's just a half hour away, and that's crazy. Oh, my God. That's Mike White dropping all the bits he has. He's probably shot to the top of the list, just below Pat, for the bit list. I don't know what it is. It's like a score chart that's on the Twitch channel. And because I used some plugins. Anyway, it's over. It's over. I'm going to go eat something and post things to Instagram. Thanks once again. And I'm going to finish, well, probably tomorrow night. It's tomorrow, Wednesday. I'm going to finish drawing Superman for Johnny C. It's one of those weeks where it's like, I have it in my head. I can see it so clearly, which has just ruined my ability to just be like, oh, this is cool. Let's keep going with this. I'll get to a certain point. I'm just like, what did I do? I looked at the reference too much. And I twisted what I was trying to do into what the reference is. But I don't know. I have his thumbnail, or I'm just like, just stick to the thumbnail, and I'm gonna try that again. But again, it's one of those drawings where it's just like, this is fun, and I end up having fun with it and thinking about it too much. Just like today, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say this, but over at Streamlabs, working on a little side project with Tom. But there's these things you can get. You get these crates that they're like loot crates, and you get like face masks. So if you use Streamlabs OBS, which I don't because I'm on a Mac, but instead of giving bits, or maybe in lieu of bits, or because of bits, or just with money, you can like force a mask on people. So it's like Snapchat filters that do stuff. And then there's these loot boxes where you can get, hey, some of these things for free, and like some sound clips that you can use, and possibly, I don't know if it's already a thing, but some stickers are coming, and I know what they are because I drew some of them today, and I'm just like, this is the best job ever. Like, this is as fun as sitting on the couch drawing Superman. Like, can I not do my regular job all week and just draw stickers? And no is the answer. Figure out a way to do all your regular work, but also do this fun thing. So it was literally like, hey, how about a unicorn? So I threw some of them on Instagram, like, how about an angry sun? How about a happy sun? How about this thing? Here's a weird heart. You know, just like Facebook has just 1,000 weird random clip arty things that you can stick on to your pictures. Again, I have no idea where they will go. I assume on your stream while you're doing a stream. I don't know how anything works. I'm 100. But that was just a super fun thing. Just like, hey, what are you doing in your stream today? Whatever I feel like. Today's, I don't know, hey, we're gonna do a Mikeception. Let's draw Mike as a dinosaur, cause why not? And who knows what next week will be. Sometimes it's pinups with people with insects for heads. Sometimes it's dinosaur for heads. Sometimes it's something completely different. But I talk too much, and this cough is so close to being gone. Oh, now the bunny's picking his nose. Oh, because there's a cat stuck up inside it. Spoiler alert for Mike's book. A cat gets stuck up in the nose of a giant bunny. But yeah, like I said, go follow Mike White Robot on Instagram as well. He's got some cute puppies. Another last thing before I go. Next Tuesday, we'll do another Mike show if we can. Whether he's here or not, I'll still talk about him. But Mike's Instagram, I have no idea how many dogs Mike has. I'm pretty sure it's just one. But if you scroll through Mike White's Instagram, there are so many pictures where he has clearly been like, oh, take my camera or phone and take a picture of me with this dog. Hey, look at me with this dog. Look at me with this dog. And they're all great dogs, but they're clearly just random dogs in the world or his friends' dogs. But I have to believe that some of them are just, hey, look at that, like Homer Simpson style. Like, that dog has a fluffy tail. I'm going to go have to get a picture with that. Like, it's not Matthew McConaughey. It's a dog in the world. Like, yeah. I don't know if I'm going to see a dog like this again. I promise you will. It's a dog in the world. But I don't know. That's also what's great about Mike White, is he still appreciates things in the world. He's not a big ball of hate. But spoiler alert, he actually is. He's just great at letting it out through dog loving at random times. That's why I had to go back in and give him those black pupils into his dark soul of burning, merciless hatred of stupid people in the world, which we all have. But I don't know. Maybe next week somebody will yell something different about another topic and we'll talk about that. Or I'll go for a walk and see somebody doing something weird. Always do. Don't live in a big city. Shouldn't see that many weird things. Shouldn't hear that many crazy things. But somehow, from my perspective, everything's New York. See you next Tuesday. Cheat sheet. See you next Tuesday. Oh yeah. Then that piano plays. It's some stop music to say goodnight to you. Mike White put on his headphones to make sure he wasn't missing the last bit of sound. But this is the last bit. Thank you, everybody. Good night, Pat and Space Goody and John E.C. Oh, and Carol. And of course, that dragon and that gamer and whoever else. Etc. No such thing as grownups.com. There's a dinosaur book. There's a book with dinosaur heads, and they're sexy. There's 2 of them in poetry books. Whatever. The links are on the page. Ted Danson turns out the lights. Last episode. Shut it down.